Hello everyone and welcome to today's second video, doing the extended European outlook for today's second video. So this video is now back to its regular Tuesday slot after moving to Wednesdays for a couple of months. Though the extended European outlook will be released every Tuesday from now onwards, and I shall get on back for you in a moment. Just say that first. The video shares our 6-7 UK weather forecast, and I've got a 10 to 14 day with all of the regular features on the way later on today as well. Please like, share, and subscribe on all of today's videos and content, and thank you so much everyone for doing that for GavsWeatherVids. Thank you so much everyone. Right, we're going to start off with the week 1 mean sea level pressure anomaly, taking us through the week that we're currently in. This is the 2nd through to the 9th of December. So we see high pressure in the Atlantic. That's the Azores high reaching northwards. There's also an area of high pressure blocking towards the northwest of Russia. At the same time, there's a trough of lower pressure through here. And we could be bringing in some quite cold winds into some of those northern and also central parts of Europe. 500 millibar height anomaly looks like that. Again, we see a ridge through the Atlantic building northwards and then going off to the northeast as well. Trough of lower pressure is down here across the southeastern corner of Europe. So this is a temperature anomaly set up for this week, varying from area to area. Generally looking quite cold through the North Atlantic and potentially into some parts of Northern Europe as well. See patches of colder conditions through Norway and Sweden, mingling with milder conditions as well. And those colder conditions extending into the north of Scotland as well. We've also got cold average temperatures generally in this southern, southeastern part of Europe. So anywhere from Italy over the Adriatic to the Balkans, and then towards the Black Sea and the south of Ukraine, looking rather on the colder side. Now, that's mostly exceptions to the rule, though. Most other areas are milder than average. The core of the warmth is down across North Africa and into Spain and Portugal. There we see temperature anomalies of 3 to 6 degrees above average, but more widely through much of Western Europe, the temperature anomaly is actually milder than normal. France, the Low Countries, Germany, Ireland, southern parts of the UK, England, Wales, into Poland as well, generally above average temperatures there, and extending northwards in some of the Baltic Sea states of Latvia, Estonia, Lithuania. So a lot of mild weather around across Europe this week, but not everywhere. Mediterranean-wise, it's mildest through the central and western portion of the Med, and a little bit cooler over in the east. Precipitation anomalies looking like this. So we see wetter than average conditions or above average precipitation through the western portion of Europe. We've got France, the Low Countries, Ireland, UK, Germany, and western parts of Poland, north into south Scandinavia, including Denmark, southern Sweden, and just into far southwest of Russia. Of Norway, I should say, coming out with above average precipitation. I was off school today, we taught geography. Going further northwards, we see dry and average conditions through northern parts of Scandinavia and Nordic regions, so dry and average through Norway into Sweden and into some parts of Finland as well. And then dry through this eastern portion of Europe as well, from around Poland to the Black Sea. Now into the Mediterranean, very wet down towards Greece and Turkey. So there could be some big thunderstorms going on through there. But meanwhile, into the central and western bowl of the Med, actually we see drier than average conditions. So a lot of regional variation, again, this week with precipitation and temperature. Week 2 is going to be the 9th through to 16th of December. Higher pressure then, or high pressure, is out in the Atlantic. To the north and the west of UK and Ireland, trough of low pressure looks like it's through here. This could be bringing northeasterly winds quite widely across many parts of Europe, actually. So we could be setting up a colder pattern there from the 9th to the 16th of December. We see this trough of low pressure through here. Could have some quite cold air associated with it. And higher pressure is out in the Atlantic. So sorry everyone, and to the north of Scotland, between Scotland and Norway as well. So, a large area of cold average temperature anomalies for the second week, 9th to 16th of December, through much of Western and also Southwest Europe in particular. Big change to Spain and Portugal. There we are going from 3 to 6 degrees above average to about 1 to 3 degrees below average. So, turning really chilly. Actually, I think there's patches of but 3 to 6 degrees below average. These darker blue shades here are 3 to 6 degrees cold average. So we go from week 1, where we're 3 to 6 degrees above average, to week 2, 3 to 6 degrees below average there. In some of those limited parts of Spain, and also northwards into southern parts of France as well, and over the Alps. That should produce some very welcome snowfalls, I would have thought, for those alpine regions. More widely across Western Europe, we see temperature anomalies of 1 to 3 degrees below average. Ireland and the UK going colder than average, especially for more southern regions, and also up to Scandinavia as well. We've got Denmark, Sweden turning colder than average. Not everywhere is cold. So in the far eastern portion of Europe, that's where the milder air is. So through Greece and Turkey, up to the Black Sea, and then going north towards much of Ukraine, just up to Belarus, and then in southwest of Russia, mild average through there. And as far as the Mediterranean is concerned, basically anywhere from Italy and the Adriatic westwards back to Spain and Portugal, coming out with below average temperature. Quite a cold week to come next week, if that's right. Precipitation looks driest through these northern and western portions of Europe, so Ireland, the UK, and into southern parts of Norway and much of Sweden. Also Finland coming out drier than average. Large portions of France and the Low Countries, Belgium, Holland, and the Netherlands looking drier than normal too. Portugal also drier than average. We see wetter than average conditions both on the eastern side of Europe, and again that's particularly focused perhaps around some of the Greek islands, and going northwards up towards the Ukraine, and north of that into western parts of Russia. And as far as the Mediterranean is concerned, again it was quite wet from the central bowl of the Med, so big thunderstorms cracking off for Corsica, Sardinia, as well as the Balearic Islands of Mallorca, Ibiza. Probably Malta getting some big thunderstorms as well. But going back in towards Spain and Portugal, well, average precipitation much of Spain, west average in far north, and drier than average for Portugal. Week 3 will be the 16th to the 23rd of December. Low pressure then appearing to be north of the UK and Ireland, and heading in towards Norway as well. Presumably that's bringing the wind back around to a westerly for much of northern and western Europe, as higher pressure is going southwards into the Atlantic and into the Mediterranean as well. The 500 millibar height anomaly looks like that, below average height between Scotland and Iceland, bringing the wind presumably into a westerly. So temperature anomalies start to lift up through western portion of Europe, though nothing to get particularly excited about. We're just sort of returning to average temperature anomalies or no signal. In fact, large portions of Europe with average temperature anomalies. The only areas with a minor average are down in the Med, also into the north of France, possibly Ireland and southwestern parts of England. And then over on the far eastern side of Europe, we see mild average temperatures there. Cold average to Iceland and into the North Atlantic. Otherwise, most areas are average or have no signal. Much more unsettled again as we go through into week 3 for the north and the west of Europe, with above average precipitation through France, through the UK, through Ireland, into Scandinavia, and also affecting some parts of the Low Country and possibly Germany, and down into southern parts of Europe as well. Eastern Europe with no particular signal for precipitation and or average precipitation there. Week 4 will be the 23rd to the 30th of December, reverting back to a milder pattern here, with higher pressure building to the south and low pressure away to the northwest. The winds again are back into that westerly direction. The 500 millibar heights looks like that as we go through the Christmas week. It's a mild scene with high, for much of Europe anyway, with high pressure through many areas. The temperature anomaly for week 4, becoming milder all the time, especially across the north of Europe, so Scandinavia and Nordic regions, as well as the Baltic Sea states with above average temperatures. Western Europe also potentially looking a little bit mild as well, as does Southern Europe, and precipitation anomalies for week 4. Weakening signal was before weeks away, but wet in the Atlantic, presumably that could be coming into the UK and Ireland, also for North Scandinavia and in towards Finland and northwestern Russia, and then down towards Spain, Portugal and southern France. It's a bit drier than average. But as I say, a weakening signal due to the fact that we're 4 weeks out. Well, that's the extended, that's the 30-day look ahead done, I should say. Let's have a look at the extended period, which is week 5 and 6 before we go. So week 5 will be the 30th of December, 6th of January. Into the new year with low pressure around Iceland, high pressure around the Azores. Looks like a classic westerly zonal setup there. The 500 millibar height anomaly hinting at that as well. Temperature anomalies week 5, generally mild average in most areas, and week 5 precipitation wettest in the North Atlantic into the North and West Europe very weak signal. And week 6 finally will be the 6th to 13th of January. Still looking unsettled with plenty of low pressure in the Atlantic, bringing in that westerly flow as well. The 500 millibar heights again looking unsettled, low pressure around Greenland, Iceland, driving in those westerly to southwesterly winds. The temperature anomaly is mild average in all areas by the new year, and precipitation anomalies are wettest again in the north and west, as you expect in such a zonal setup. Now, having said that, if the cold conditions that we see next week come off, then the ECM was not forecasting that until today. So again, you pay your money, you take your choice with these long-range ones. They are experimental, and, you know, it's just a fun. Any forecast on site beyond 5 to 7 days comes with big health warnings and large pinches of salt attached. That's always the caveat. Right, well, that's your extended European Outlook done. If you enjoy the forecast, please like, share and subscribe. We're going to be back with some very interesting charts for our 10 to 14 day. That will be coming up in about a couple of hours' time. I'll come back for that a little bit later on. But for the extended European Outlook this week, that's all for now. Thanks for watching. Thanks so much to ECM.wf.int for supplying the charts and the data. By the way, thank you so much, EC. We'll see you a little bit later on with 10 to 14 day. This one, that's all for now. And thanks for watching.